So most of the time your team rolls out here. Your demo can sometimes roll up here, but generally you want to come over here since this is a lot safer for your medic to be playing around here. Ultimately, the goal of your team on a mid is to be able to take as little spam as possible and get up onto this high ground. So walk up this ramp, because that's kind of the only way your medic can get up there. And your goal of the mid is largely to stop them. A lot of spam needs to go. You're going to have a soldier play up here and just kind of spam on the floor. If their demo does go here, you're going to need to maybe back off if he's still up there, but you can often get that as a kill. So sometime into the mid, you're going to bomb this. Usually your pocket scout is playing somewhere like up here for part of the mid. At least the beginning of it. You have a lot of vision. You can see what they're doing. You can see where their demo is. And if you see there's not too much spam landing on your med, and they're not trying to bomb, you can definitely walk up. A lot of double bombs are going to happen. You can play for double bombs. You can double bomb off a lot of things, but I often like to go and choke and send in it. And if you're not prepared for that as a team, it's going to roll you. Or if it doesn't, like if your med does live, they're usually going to live like back here. And it's far away from everything here. You can kind of be spammed out here, and you're most often going to have to leave the mid entirely and go down second. But you just kind of play around here. You can walk under if they're not watching it. Just peek and make opportunities. Try and stop them from walking and walk up yourself. You want your demo, your scout, your med, all kind of walking up here. Your med can get spammed a ton. Like if your med gets caught like walking up here, they're completely stuck in this corner and just gonna die. So you need to make sure it's clear before going, and do watch out for bombs. A lot of the time you may never get to walk up here, and you're just gonna get picks on the bombs and they're gonna leave. Pushing second is there are a lot of sacks you can do uneven, but mid. Yeah, defensive hold is your med kind of plays in choke back here. You have your pocket scout here, and you can have a soldier hiding up there. This is for disad. You can maybe have a soldier like over there on that roof, and one over here. And your demo just kind of plays back here with your team. And most often, the enemy team is going to come yard. And that high bomb from up there is pretty good on people to come in yard if you just want to send one and leave. But even hold is a drastically different position. You want to play like a soldier here in house, just kind of making sure nobody walks through and flanks your team. And you kind of want to send a sack on the flank if you are sacking. And you kind of want your team over here as much as they can be.
Who's supposed to come by alley and who's supposed to stay in the house?
In terms of soldiers?
Just for the whole team, like all 6 of players, who is supposed to be where right now? Like when you're trying to sack from alley?
When you're trying to sack, it depends what you want to do on your sack. But a lot of times double soldier is what they do, where one is just going to like fade. Not like that, but...
Yeah, but more so just generally speaking, when you're sending a sack there, where do you want your team to be playing?
If it's a single sack, you're going to have your roamer here in the house. If it's a double sack, you're going to have your demo here in the house.
So where would I sack through then? Just go drop down or go through the door?
The soldier?
Yeah, if your roamer's in house, like where's he supposed to sack from?
You're not. I mean, you can have your roamer on alley, but your whole combo, apart from your demo, I recommend double stacks, honestly. I recommend sending either 2, 1 to fade to house, so you can fade and land over there and get back into house, and 1 lands on the combo. Or to.
Yeah, right. But if you have your roam, like, so you're sending a, let's say you're sending a single, your roamer can't be now. I mean, where's he supposed to bomb from? That's what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of the times a pocket soldier is going to be the one sacking.
Okay, so you're sending the pocket soldier instead of the roam.
Yeah, you're sending whoever's alley.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, you're sending whoever is out.
Yeah.
More so, I just wanted you to clarify it because yesterday when we were trying to sack, we just had all 6 of our players in alley, and it never worked because of the.
Yeah, that's not great. I would say you can leave nobody house and just have someone like here watching this. Usually like a flank scout, just watching this, and the rest of your team, all 5 players here in alley. So your combo, your med, scout, demo can walk up, kind of spam them, while your soldiers are bombing. Like you send one more passively. Definitely fading here is good, and one to just land on their med, who's going to be standing around that shutter. But at default, you are going to have someone, when you're not actively sacking, you're going to have someone in this house, usually your demo, and maybe a soldier as well, while you're waiting to sack, maybe waiting for a player to arrive. And you definitely don't want to be caught out there once your players are dead. Your combo should back up if you weren't able to get anything off a sack. Pushing on ad, you can bomb your demo here and just take this, depending on how aggro they are. Or if you want to try not to use, you can take a more alley and just kind of walk in here, have some pressure coming from house, and your combo walk up here, and you might get high bombed, but there's not a ton of stuff for them to high bomb off of, and you're probably just going to be able to walk up without using. That's, yeah. If you do think they're caught out here though, where as in their medic is not like standing here, but is somewhere like here or something, a little more aggro than he should be on this side, you can definitely just have your demo place a sticky down, bomb in, and catch the med with your scout running in behind him. For second, if you are disad on second, you're usually going to have your med playing like here, depending on how forward they are. You kind of just give this point up. Disad on second is not something it's not a situation you're in very often. But yeah, you kind of have your med playing back here, and just a lot of people on bridge. Your flank can play a backup alley or something. You can send one bomb through alley or have someone like hiding, but it's generally pretty hard for them to push out of last. And you can have someone in lobby, someone playing like down here who can bomb onto them. And yeah, even is a very common position to be in second. Like waiting to try and get something on their last, you're going to spend usually 20 minutes of every game in this kind of position. Often no rounds are taken on Metalworks because it is very hard to do anything going into last, but a sniper is quite good here. I'd say there's decent picks on the people holding the flank, and maybe you could even have your sniper peek here as like an aggro pick if you take your beam and your soldier and peek onto them there. In terms of sacks, there's not very much you can do. You need to know where a gun is, if they do have a gun. If they don't, you can kind of just pressure in, try and take space through these doors, and just send a soldier bombing into them. But common gun spots are somewhere like here, over here, just on this crate. I've seen plenty of weird gun spots, but most common are under bridge somewhere or somewhere around there. I've seen guns, but here, like here. if you can't get that gun, you're not going to be able to sack, so you're just going to have to play a sniper. The medic might be there, or it might be there. It's one of two positions for their medic to stand. It depends, like if they have a dispenser and a gun, it's very common for the med to be standing here. In which case, the only way a sniper can peek them is from over there. And you can pressure that just by sending your beam left. But generally, your combo is just positioned here in lobby, and your flank is over on the right side. You can, if you beam the pocket soldier, come left, you can try and work a pick here. But do be careful, because you can just get caught super hard if you are not at an advantage there. You can send your combo and peek shutter, where there's going to be traps here, but if you do have a sniper, or if you just want to be able to like try and punish someone who's over aggressive, if you're peeking over there and you see their demo is like standing up here, or it's somewhere quite aggressive, you could sack a player, just shoot the sticks, get it on the demo, try and kill him. A demo pick would be pretty huge. And right is rarely pushed. Maybe you can try and secure a pick if a soldier is aggressive, but generally the soldier is going to be playing shack or just on the crate here, and it's not going to be like super easy to deal with. So most of your peeking is going to be done shutter left. Sending like solos for someone to come up sniper is very common. You can come up spy. That's also going to be lucrative, but without that, even is kind of going to be a slog. You're just going to maybe want to find a pick, since in AM, you're usually going to have someone on their team over-aggressing at some point out of boredom. Like if a soldier ever walks in here and peeks this, they could be easily punished by someone waiting here, shooting him. And any pick is something you can pressure a lot off of, just coordinated pressure. If you are ad pushing into last, you choose a doorway to go through, either main or shutter, sometimes left. The reason you would do each of those, shutter, you would have to pop through usually because there's no, or there's sticks and you don't want to drop anyone, so you'd have to pop through immediately and bomb a demo. If the demo is up, you want to go main most often, and like boiler rather, and you can usually get up to here if you're on ad without really being spotted. And if the demo's up, you might just be able to get a kill on him, and that's huge. And then you can just play point. You kind of want to force them back. If they're forced back completely to spawn, like if their team is ever positioned mostly like on this platform, you should win the round. You should just stand on point. And it's the one map where they don't really have the option to resub, because if their team is going all the way back here, they're so far away from point that they're not going to be able to get there in time. So just forcing them back, having somebody get through left, whether it's just a soldier or your combo, and forcing those left side players, maybe a gun over there, backwards is how you're going to win the last. You need to kill the gun early. So if you are on ad before the Uber, you want to have people spotting as much as they can. Especially if you have a pick, you should be able to spot or at least hear a gun. And yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to see how that goes for you, just bombing demo a lot on these pushes. Through left is rare that you want to do that, since a soldier is going to stuff you pretty hard. But if you know the soldier likes to peek like this or something, and might spot you if you're going main, you can just Uber into him. And that's a good kill. One kill is a really good start to an Uber. And now last. Any questions on anything there?
No. What would the good gun spots be?
Got that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do have a gun like here, a very common is a dispenser here. And your medic can play here pretty safe if you have a soldier up there. So roamer is up here. You can switch your roamer in pocket if you want to, if one is more comfortable playing. But you have a roamer up here. Be wary of players using through, because if you're too aggro, if you're like all the way up here, you're not going to be able to escape a use through here. So you can kind of play here. If anyone tries to peek you, you should just be able to get good safe spam on them. Pocket plays on the other side on this crate. Again, you can switch it, but you're just trying to stuff this door. And maybe you can aggress peek lobby, get some spam on people if they're peeking shutter. And so just be a nuisance to them in lobby, but you're not gonna die unless you really have an opportunity. Like you see their med playing here, like backing up or something, you can maybe walk in on him, but you're just watching. Shack is also common, where you can play a lot more for people to walk in. If they do see there's no one there, they might want to pick their sniper here, and you can just shoot 2 rockets down on him and get a pick. You can also spam anyone who comes main and spot that. It's a strong position, but whichever you prefer. Demo on bridge. Depends whether it's even or not. This is all even, what I'm explaining. So demo kind of plays here, and peek and lobby. Something like this, a really good spam angle, because you're not going to get spotted, but if they are trying to peek from boiler here, you're going to be able to get a ton of damage on them. Med on even can play somewhere around here. If there's a sniper, you might want to go in that dispenser spot, because you can do all of the same things. You can buff your soldiers, heal your demo. You will like always have an NG on even, hopefully. One of you should be the designated engineer and like always come up NG, because the most important thing for holding this last is the engineer. That needs to be very clear in your minds. That pretty much goes for every last, honestly, but yeah. Scouts, you can kind of just build here if it's near even and switch off to sniper. Maybe a pyro right is good. If you know their team has like a habit of going right, you can completely stuff them in this door as pyro. But otherwise, I'd say heavy is the most common second scout off class. You can kind of... You have to kite the Uber. You can't be caught in Ubers as heavy. And this goes for every map. If you are caught in the Uber, you are just a free pick. So if they do exchange, you don't want to be too much in on it. Somewhere like back here for the post. And then you're able to do a ton. Maybe if they're completely on the left side, you can go back here and then just be like, see everyone in the post. And that's where heavy thrives. But if you are going to go heavy, don't get caught. And I would say sniper is decent because you can catch people holding here pretty easily. You can peek in the lobby from a lot of different places. If they're backed up more, you can even like try and peek shutter or get out to second and see people here. And even see people all the way back on bridge from here. It's a pretty nasty sightline. So that can be a good way to try and push out a last, is to try and get a pick with your sniper. If you have a pick on them, if they stack or something. Yeah, I said about how you can't go into spawn and you can't get like caught defensively so far back, which presents a problem like when you are in disad and you don't want to back up all the way. And so as medic, it can be pretty tough, but you're just going to play around here. And you're going to try and kite to the opposite side of the Uber. So if they come in main, like shutter, main, or boiler, you're going to just back up here, try and play on the right. Maybe you can have someone like come up heavy here on the right side. Maybe you have a gun here. It depends on what they do, where you're going to go. If they do come in on the right, and that's kind of the utility of going through left, is you can catch people here on the left pretty easily and clear the space behind point. And then if you have a capable player coming through shutter, they can just roll them. But backing up here, this is a pretty good area to play the post in. You have area to kite to and people in front of you to heal, hopefully. You can play high ground on anyone who's trying to get on point. So it's quite strong if you're able to secure a side of the point. But you do need to bait them to one side and then go the other. So like a demo or something, just standing around here, like on this ad, and try and maybe just to get them to come into you here. And then if your demo can live, that's huge, because you just have a massive post here where you can shoot everything. You can kill everything. And if they do get people in on the right side, you can rotate back around to bridge and just try and kite them as much as possible. And those soldier positions are not going to be the same on this ad, because you can't play so close to doors necessarily if they're going to push through it, especially on the right. You can just try and go behind or like play like back here as a soldier while they're Ubered in and then bomb something in the post or play to bomb point. You do need to stop point. Soldier, that's your job. More than anybody else. And as NG, you do want to try not to die as well. So yeah, if you do have a gun like over here, I see a lot of NGs. They will stay with it in some regard, or they'll try and get an ammo pack over here and come back, and they'll just completely be caught to an Uber in and be a free pick. Once this is up, you gotta be in a position where you can live with your team, like around where your demo is. And it's gonna not really tip them off to where the gun is as well. If they don't know that it's under here, and they Uber in and they see the NG back here, they're gonna think it's maybe over here, somewhere around here. And by the time their post Uber is in, they've walked all the way back here, forced them to spawn, and then they try and get on point and they're getting shot by the gun and they just lose. And if your gun is alive, that pretty much just means you should win. You should be able to stop them from taking a side at least, or capping. Like this stops them from capping. This stops them from taking right side, so you can have your team play around here in the post. And yeah, you do want to stop them from peeking on evens, or as much as you can on this ad for the time being as a soldier, to stop them from peeking and seeing stuff. But there's only so much you can do. Any questions?
Where should specifically for Sentry, disad and nat, or you know, like evens? Where do you want the gun specifically, kind of thing? And when you're pushing off.
Yeah, no, the under the bridge spot here is very much an even thing that you can't really put it there on disad. It's sneaky. If you do want to put it there on disad, like if you have enough time to get this to like level 2 and then back up, they probably won't expect it, but I'd say more consistently on disad, this is a good gun spot, because it's less likely to get killed early in their Uber once they're getting in. Many teams can even like come through left, walk here, and by the time they've walked here, their scout is getting shot and it's just flown away, and their Uber is completely disastrous because they drop a player. But yeah, under the point is not something you really want to do on this side consistently. That's the most common one. You can also put it here. If this is more likely to die early in the Uber, but if they come through here most often and not through like the right, this can be good to just stop them from getting in too far. And it means that your combo can hold this bridge maybe and like spam them during the Uber. So it delays them a lot and they might not even take anything and just have to leave or have to play the post from here, which is a common position for post to be played from. Like they'll recommit from shutter. So you just have to be aware that that's going to happen.
Outside of last, can enemies run sniper?
What's that?
Do enemies may run sniper? What if enemies run sniper outside of pushing or defending last?
In terms of like sniper
For
on
example,
second or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, sniper evens on second is also something you may see. I think it's alright, because this is a really deadly peak on sniper. In terms of a team that has mid, even on this, the team that has mid might run a sniper and peek them under, and the most common spot for a mid to stand is there. So your sniper can completely undetected just peek here, and might get a med pick. So you definitely need a scout on second. I didn't explain the even on second hold quite well enough, and the fact that you need to scout here. Your pocket scout is almost always just watching under. And
Who would be off-classing like that if you were running sniper aggressively like that?
it'd probably be a scout, or yeah, just a scout is the most common since scout doesn't have too much utility in like the closed spaces like these. But whoever's best on sniper, as long as it's not your meta demo, can go sniper. And you can also peek them through alley if you are able to get space alley. Like maybe you send a soldier and they fade, and you peek your sniper here. You can get that same pretty deadly peek on them, and you might not get spotted as well. But it's all about trying to get a shot off undetected. You can really peek from anywhere though. You can do under, alley, or I mean, I guess if their demo or soldier is not aggro. Yeah. Warning to you demo on like evens on second or disad on second. So many demos get caught out because they're not far back enough. So if you are on second and it's disad or it's even, you don't want to cross this line ever. If it's disad, you kind of want to stay back here. And you can have a soldier playing up here, like a pocket soldier up here, and then roamer up here or something, and flank scout. Your roamer can roam, kind of maybe try and fight players here, and your flank scout as well, just over here. But your pocket soldier is on Metalworks Bridge, just spamming this house forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, making sure they don't peek there. Your combo can go rotate to under for pressure. Like your demo can jump off the side here and try and spam them if they are pushing under for some reason. But your soldier should always be on the house up here. Anything else?
Pushing out of second.
Yeah, I said a little you want to go under, but more specifically, you kind of have your flank, like your combo scout, take up here. Your flank will be in house if you are pushing under, and it's safe because your medic is on extreme low ground compared to your scout, so your scout can see a lot. There might be a soldier above your scout's vision if they're on like Batman or something, so you just gotta be wary of that. As a medic,
What's Batman? Let me see.
oh, I said this, but you can stand on these grates.
Oh shit, yeah, those guns.
You can literally just jump up here and stand on them. And then, that was not good, but you can bomb very high onto anyone back here. So as a medic, I'd say make sure your medic, when they're walking here, does something like this. So they're on a little bit of high ground, and then they're able to just get in through here. And if they're on this like ultra low ground, a soldier can bomb here and just rocket them most of the time. So let's scout up here. You can even have your flank scout with your combo here, and have them play more on low ground with your med. And since the enemy team is going to be playing around choke here, and just trying to send a soldier and spam you, you can, if they are too aggro and they're on disad, you can just send a demo bomb into them and run your scout up here, and you're going to be pretty fast. So if their med is not like back here, if you see their med like out here even, this could be a situation where you can catch them if you get aggro enough in hard without them being able to stop you. You do want to clear alley. You can have your flank do that, or your pocket just come around here, clear alley. Make sure you don't get back capped. You do push under.
Did you talk about clearing last, actually?
Clearing, like pushing out of last?
Yeah. When you're pushing out of last, who clears what?
Yeah. So whichever soldier you have over here, it's going to clear this left. Maybe shoot a rocket into ramp room. Make sure there's no one down there. And then come in on second. Ramp room is a pretty common spot to hide. I've seen people hiding here, but honestly, most of this should be pretty simple to clear. Like your pocket scout can just look at this and then move on. Right is another common spot to hold. This like secret area can be pretty hard to see someone in if you do not clear it. So you definitely want a soldier clearing this. If your soldier's not up, then a flank scout maybe, but this is a very easy spot. If you're a flank scout and you walk in here against a soldier, you're losing that fight. So preferably a soldier clears this, and from there you are set. And a note for pushing into mid, you can definitely, depending on what they're watching, you can send something into them. You can try and catch a player. Like if they do have a player too aggressive, someone like over here on point, while their combo's over here, you can try and isolate them. You may have a soldier in choke. And a lot of the times when holding mid, you'll have a soldier here or there, or just somewhere kind of roaming around this area. Be able to spam this. But if the soldier is, like if you're able to walk through here, you can pose a pretty decent problem at cutting them off. So just look for those opportunities. And you can always just bomb for space. Like, just clear everything, get in, and you can be on a bit of a chase. Where if you are able to get into alley, like super fast, and their combo's leaving house, you can just land behind them and completely roll them. And oftentimes their med will just be backing up here and have no idea that a soldier's on top of them. And it's a free pick. So a lot of opportunities for roamer in terms of catching people's, like backing up through house. Alright, is that everything?
Mm. Are we only gonna review this map?
Yeah, I was told only metalworks, and I have to go to my own scrims
Yes,
in
it's only
15 minutes anyway.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what to do on Metalworks. I mean, I played Soldier on Metalworks, but
Yeah, I can give a